Hey there, I'm Greg Finn.
And I'm Jess Budd.
And it is officially Marketing O'Clock here at Cypress North on December 7th, 2018. Remember, you can catch us live without a net here on Friday mornings on YouTube or consume us via your favorite podcasting player.
And follow along with us in our show notes. As always, just head over to marketingoclock.com for all the links from today's articles.
So what's up with the news today, Jess?
Well, first up, we can look forward to a better, more positive Tumblr. Is
Yay.
The name of the announcement from Tumblr. They have updated their community guidelines. So in short, Tumblr's not going to allow adult content anymore on their platform.
So it seems like a more stripped down version of Tumblr.
I had that joke. I was like, maybe I shouldn't say that. Yeah, so they want to foster a better, more creative venue or outlet, I should say, for users in a place where they feel comfortable to express themselves. So starting the 17th, which is officially 10 days from now, they will be stripping that content away.
Great. All right. And the one thing to note is that there are many, actually, social platforms that do have this unsavory content, as we say, with nudity. And I think that was kind of inevitable back in the day when Yahoo purchased them. But there still is, like, surprisingly a lot of sites out there that advertisers might not know that they're out there with some of these potentially naughty posts and things of that nature. And some of those items, or some of those different sites, rather, that do still feature that unsavory content are Twitter, Reddit. There's actually a lot of naughty things there.
I mean, it's the internet.
I know, but I don't think a lot of advertisers know that.
Fair.
And by coming out and making this point, I think Tumblr is going to potentially lose a lot of users that are going there for a very specific reason. And they probably might, again, have some more appeal because it's not just some dirty corner of the internet anymore.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm trying to think of this from a professional standpoint. I feel like if it is a more, to use the word, savory platform, we might have better ad opportunities we can look forward to and all that. But to your point before about just the internet being a place where you can get these things that you may want, they even said in their statement, Tumblr said there's no shortage of sites on the internet that feature adult content. We'll leave it to them and focus our efforts on creating the most welcoming environment possible for our community. And I'm just like, oh, I had no idea. Thank you, Tumblr.
Oh, yeah. There's bad things out there. And so if you are really concerned about where your ads are showing, to me, I think the best sources for cleaned up content, let's say, or savory content are Google for sure, Facebook, and even Pinterest as well. They don't let any of that slide.
That would just ruin things for mothers.
Absolutely. All right, next up in the news, Rich Results expands for question and answer pages. And Google has launched a Q&A structured data that allows webmasters rather the ability to show that this page is a question page and has a variety of answers as well. So if you want in the search engine results pages, you'll be able to see that we've got this page that has a question, and you'll be able to kind of scroll through some of those answers that show up. Seems pretty simple, right, Jess?
Simple, yeah.
It's not. It's not simple because after this, there was a question out there on Twitter where there was the thought, and this is a little bit technical. I'll kind of fly over it, but there is also some markup out there that's not technically supported by Google right now. That's called FAQ page markup. And this new markup is called QA page markup. It doesn't
different.
Sounds the same. It's very different. So the question was, should you use this new markup, the question and answer page markup, for, say, your frequently asked questions page? The answer is no. Don't use it for your FAQ page. This is specific to questions with lots of answers. So if you've got questions, shoot over to Marketing O'Clock. We'll be happy to answer them in the comments. But it's very technical. But this new markup is not for your FAQ pages. And it seems like there's going to be something coming down the pipe that actually will be.
For FAQs, you mean, coming down the pipe?
Yes, it's
I hope so.
not technically supported at the moment, but yes.
I feel like that's content that probably a lot more folks have out there, so something to look forward to. But next up, Quora was hacked. Excuse me. What happened? What data was stolen? And what do 100 million users need to do next? Was the name of the article. It seems like everybody is being hacked or having some sort of data breach or vulnerability these days. It just, this time it's Quora.
I think of 100 million users. That's incredible.
You mean just in general?
Just in general.
Is that the entire user base?
It seems like that was a hack. Like somebody doubled their user base.
They hacked into the email system.
100 million users on Quora?
Well, I didn't get a notification, and I have certainly signed up for Quora, so that's 100,000,001 users at least. They sent everybody a nice little email letting them know that there was unauthorized access to their system by a malicious third party. So it seems like somebody was really trying to do something nasty. It wasn't just a vulnerability. It was an actual hack. Things that have been compromised, in case you're one of these 100 million people: your name, contact info, possibly IP addresses, even passwords, and contributions and drafts. If you have any drafts saved in there, those are hacked too.
Oh my. And while the note was really geared towards probably those 100 million folks, there is a good subset now of advertisers on Quora, and they didn't mention anything about credit cards or anything like that. So it's something we're waiting for a little more information on, but who knows on that case. But again, the passwords seemed like they were hashed and that were hacked. So that was good. But thankfully, I know a great question and answer site that you can go to and ask questions like, what do I do if I'm hacked?
What site is that?
Quora.
I thought you were going to say Google and take it back to that markup thing. And
no.
Never mind. That was even better than I expected. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, especially for advertisers. So,
all right. And next up this week, introducing the indexing API and structured data for live streams from Google. And Google has announced a new API that's an indexing API that helps people like us live streaming get into the search engine results pages, which is super cool. That's one thing Google's always lagged behind quite a bit on is some of the live stuff. That's why I've got that fire hose into Twitter now. And this is going to be great because you're going to be able to let Google know that, hey, this video, hey, it's Marketing Clock. It's December 7th. It's live. Check it out now and show up. And again, there's a all new documentation for live stream. It's in the Google developers section, and you can tie right into the indexing API. So you can send in when your video goes live, when the video stops streaming, and also whenever changes happen in the markup, and Google should be notified. So it's kind of like a two-phase approach there, but hopefully we'll start seeing some more actual live video in the search engine results pages, and that's pretty exciting.
That's really exciting. And now imagine a world where you have a live video with a Q&A and you have all that new markup that you just talked about.
Is it on an FAQ page?
No, it's not.
Okay, perfect. All right, and that brings us to this week's lightning round. First up this week, Google says that the search results aren't personal. And this is a whole thing. There's an article from DuckDuckGo that talked about Google having a search bubble where people see only the content that they want to see. And then Danny Sullivan over at Google had used the same exact search queries from that DuckDuckGo had used and used it on their own site and said, oh, no, you have a bubble too, and showed the exact same thing. But the key here is that the search engine results pages aren't as personalized as you might think. There's a little bit of personalization, but hopefully everybody has roughly the same amount of the same content. So
that makes
NBD, everybody.
NBD. They did say too, right, that the results might be different, but not for personal reasons. So not personal, it's business. Next up, more language support is coming for responsive ads as well as some cool new tools. Google announced that responsive search ads are going to have 10 additional languages that they support, which is awesome. Even cooler, well, some of this is cool, they're going to offer headline and description suggestions. And I feel like you have something to say about that.
Oh, I don't think that's cool at all. In the examples that they show, it looks fantastic until it's real life, and you have these suggestions come in that that are just horrific.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said some of this is cool. They also said they're going to give you ad strength grades with opportunities for improvement, also probably a math thing. But I wrote in my notes, hallelujah for this next one. I feel like this is the nicest thing ever. They're going to have a tool. This one's not rolled out yet, but it is coming in the next few weeks. It's going to let you import your headlines and descriptions from your existing text ads into the responsive ad format so you don't have to copy and paste your life away. I think that's a good thing.
And another fact that they listed was that they said, we found that on average, advertisers who include headlines and descriptions from existing text ads see up to 10% more clicks. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it wasn't suggested. Because you actually tried.
Yeah, I have a little what note in that because compared to what? Compared to responsive search ad with new text or compared to not having it at all?
Nobody knows. It's impossible to know.
Great advice, Google. Thank you.
All right. Next up is a post from Google, and it's called The Latest on Messages, Allo, Duo, and Hangouts. And the news is that the latest is that Allo and Hangouts, as we know Hangouts, are going away. And Google Allo, which was kicked off in September 2016, it's supposed to be their like super smart machine learning AI-powered chat tool, is going away. And also Google Hangouts, like the only good thing we got from Google Plus is being changed. And for the most part, as people know it is going away. It's actually turned into two different products, Hangouts Chat and Hangouts Meet.
Good.
And then Google will still be keeping their Messages app and Duo, which is actually really awesome. So for the consumer, it's going to be either Messages or Duo. And then for more enterprise folks, it's going to be Hangouts Chat or Hangouts Meet.
So you could say Allo is going goodbye.
Yeah, Allo.
Hello.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Next up in Greg's favorite things news, we are going to talk about stories again. This week he's shaking his head no. Group stories are globally rolling out in the Facebook community. They are adding some additional functionality. People are going to be able to, admins and group members are going to have different ways they can interact with stories that are happening. And, the only thing I really have to say about this is go to the show notes, click it, look at the featured image. It is hilarious. It's like a dog who looks like he's having a really good time.
It's one of those super shaggy dogs.
Yeah, I don't even know what kind of dog it is, but it's amazing.
At this point,
in the article.
At this point, I'm just desensitized towards all of these social networks are shoehorning stories into their service. It makes sense if you're Snapchat and even Instagram in a way, but LinkedIn shoehorning in these stories, who uses Facebook stories? Nobody. No one. And then now putting the stories in with groups. And the example that they have is the cringiest thing ever. It's like a breakfast club. And you've got stories from your breakfast club. And it's like, that's not what Facebook is for. Actually post your pictures you don't need stories that are going to go away for your breakfast club. And I'm also saying that I am going to come out on the right side of history on this, that shoehorning stories into everything is a terrible idea. Just like I was with Portal being the worst idea ever, this is a terrible idea as well. I don't want any more stories. Just make Facebook better. How about that?
That sounds good. And you got to say Portal, so...
All right. Next up from Google, they are announcing Kaggle integration with Google Data Studio. And Kaggle is the largest community of data scientists out there, and they have things called kernels, these data sets.
I have a question. So you have like a group of crows that's a murder. Is a Kaggle the official name for a group of data scientists? Is that official?
I think it's what cabbage is.
What?
I don't know. I just made that up.
Okay.
No, I think the official name of a large community of data scientists is nerds.
Excellent point. You're right. Schooled this morning.
Okay, and the reason we're talking about this is because anytime we like looking for improvements on things, and whenever there are more improvements, more integrations, typically it leads towards something being more and more supported. So it's great to see Data Studio be more supported, and you can pull in these kernels. And there's a good example. You can see like the world happiness scale from a kernel. And guess what? Canadians are happier than Americans.
I believe that.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of happy, fluffy news, Facebook has released their 2018 year in review. It's a great read. There's a lot of pop culture stuff in there that you might or might not be interested in. But Greg, I want to play a game. Can you guess what was not in this report?
the improper use of data by third-party advertisers within Facebook ads?
Correct. Not in there.
Okay.
Anything else?
Mark
of note?
Zuckerberg's testimony in front of Congress?
Not in there.
How about the questionable ad targeting methods that have been stripped away from Facebook this year?
No, not in there.
How about the massive successful launch of Facebook Portal becoming the flagship product and the leader in the worst device ever?
Well, I did not know that was an accolade that they had yet, but no, also not in there.
Okay, then I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't. It's just like, oh, people shared things for XYZ day, and here are some hearts, and it's cool. I don't know. I got nothing. This is not newsworthy.
Yeah.
Everything newsworthy was left out of it.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
That's the news, people.
Okay, and then next up is from the AMP blog, and the title of the article is Use AMP HTML ads for better ad performance, page usability, and user safety. This was actually a really nice, simple, logical breakdown of AMP HTML ads, and there was a good look at the pros and some of the limitations of these ads. So it is something you should definitely check out. It's just a really nice, sensible article in a world of insensibility.
I love that. Nothing further. Finally, before we get to further segments, Google's officially rolling out the new search bar that's a little bit rounded and cute, and also a sticky header. So when you scroll down through the search results, you still have the search bar at the top. The headline pretty much says it all, but go and check it out.
Cool. All right. And that brings us to this week's WTH. And this week, we've got an article on Medium from the HubSpot VP of Product, Nicholas L. Holland. And the WTH article is called, We've Changed Our Stance on Ads, period. Here's why, period. And the article goes on to talk about HubSpot coming around on ads. And I'm going to quote a few different sections from this article from Mr. Nicholas L. Holland. Ads were the spammy, interrupting and outdated marketing strategy being replaced by educational, helpful, and targeted inbound marketing, period. Paragraph. Things have changed,
what?
Period.
They were when? Go on.
This article is such a sham and utter BS, and it's the thing that HubSpot is hidden behind in a long, long time. The inbound marketing isn't everything. And that, guess what? If you've got a product that doesn't address ads, you probably have a terrible product. But it's hidden in this righteous nonsense from this fella. And we're going to go through another quote here where he says, it seems like just about everybody has adopted the fundamentals of inbound marketing. We are all creating blogs, emails, and social content to inform prospects about what we're selling. Ads have become essential in cutting through the noise of a crowded information marketplace. So I think that Mr. Holland is now saying that inbound marketing is the crowded, ineffective marketplace, is what it kind of sounds like.
Sure does.
And this is my favorite part of the article. And I know I'm going long, but this has to be said.
Go for it.
He says, along with the shift towards information abundance, we've seen advertising tools improve dramatically, becoming targeted, educational, often humorous, and, parentheses, dare I say it, even helpful.
What?
Like an ad might actually help somebody. And these are the musings of a completely insane person, Jess. I don't know what to do. And best yet, this wasn't on the HubSpot site. This was buried on some hidden, not hidden, but it buried on a Medium site. It wasn't on the main site. And it got me thinking of like one of my favorite articles, I think, about HubSpot. It was written by John Henshaw back when he was at Raven Tools. I'm rocking the Raven shirt today. And it was called Inbound Marketing is Incomplete Marketing. And he went through to cover all these different reasons why you can't just use inbound marketing. And this was 5 years ago. And we're here almost 2019, and HubSpot is finally admitting that ads might be helpful. This is ridiculous. And so anyway, John went through, and John is now over at Coy Wolf Marketing. So you can check that out, sign up. There's a bunch of great content there that is very similar to what I'm going to talk about here. But he talks about the fact that HubSpot preaches inbound marketing as being the savior, but HubSpot uses PPC. They have a sales team, does telemarketing, has press releases, it has print and radio campaigns, email marketing, and they sponsor conferences. So it was an amazing article. Even the founder of HubSpot commented on there as well. But overall, this was just an absolutely insane piece. And the main crux of this HubSpot Medium post was that they're finally putting ads. They're not making that as an add-on, that they're making ads into their core marketing product.
Good.
Which like no S.
Well, why
like,
wouldn't you want to make money for yourself?
Why wouldn't you want to make a good product? And it's now this ranty, long-winded, nonsensical message about the fact that ads have never worked until we HubSpot said so today, like on the cusp of 2019. Now's the time.
But you're not going to say so on your own site. That's a little bit troublesome to me as well. I feel like you already hammered it home. I'm going to keep my mouth shut, but I'm with you on this. This is definitely a WTH.
So WTH HubSpot that has finally given the approval that ads are now complete. No, HubSpot, your product wasn't complete. All right. And that brings us to this week's must-read marketing article of the week, an article so in-depth, so detailed that we cannot cover it fully on the show. And today's article comes from Jeff Baker of Brafton, and this is actually on the Moz blog, and it's called 7 Search Ranking Factors Analyzed, a follow-up study. And Jeff runs through a bunch of actual case studies that take a look at some of the ranking factors, including the length of content on a site. And the one thing that I really liked, that I think it was one of the first ones out there, was just some of the time. So when was content released? How did it perform within that time frame? But he goes through 7 different factors and does a great job of trying to explain and show some details on it. Nothing is definitive, I'd say, but it's just a really nice look further down the rabbit hole at some of these factors that we've determined to be so important for organic ranking. So kudos to Jeff Baker over at Brafton. We love the article.
Awesome. And that does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Remember, you can catch all the content from today's show on marketingoclock.com or in the descriptions below.
And please make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss a single episode. And we will see you next week.
Goodbye.